Hi, everyone, and welcome to Faith in an Ever Changing World Encouragement and Hope Faith Story. I'm Janet Harley, your host, and today I am so pleased to have with me Marty Jean-Louis, and he is President CEO at 24 Flix, president and founder at My Christian Films, and is founder of the International Christian Film and Music Festival. And this is the 10th year, right, Marty? 10th
Yes, ma'am.
year of this
Yes.
festival. He's also a producer and director, and he's known for Don't Say My Name and Maddie, The Discovery, and Daddy, We're Back. This man, he doesn't look old enough, but he has produced over 2,000 television shows, documentaries, and films. And I could go on and on. And we'll be seeing some things as well in the future that Marty is going to be working on. And God is certainly, I was telling him earlier that God is using him up. But thank you, Marty, for being here. And right after our intro, we will hear Marty's faith story. We'll be right back. And welcome back. And Marty, if you will, please share with us your faith story.
First of all, Janet, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Welcome. My pleasure.
Honored. I am honored.
Mm.
When Janet and I spoke, and she said, "Tell me your faith stories," I had to really think about it because there's quite a few. So I told her, uh, I think two or three, and I'm like, pick one.
Right. We all have so many faith stories, but
Yeah, I certainly do. God has been in my life the
Mm.
entire time, even though at times I didn't think so. But let's go on to the specific faith story that um, Janet picked. So about 6, 7 years ago, I started learning about human trafficking. I didn't know a whole lot about it. I knew about prostitution, but I
Yes.
didn't know what trafficking meant or what it
Mhm.
was. So I started researching a bit and learning from different folks, and it really opened my eyes as to what that was, and I was just blown away. And I was asking God, what can I do? I
Mm.
wanted to do something, but I just didn't know what to do. I really didn't. But a lot of times when we ask God for things, we just have to be patient because He will deliver at His own time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And fast forward maybe about 3 years, um, a gentleman whom I met and his wife at the festival, International Christian Film and Music Festival. They had their films screened there. It was a nominated film, Jana. They wanted to meet with me. I wasn't sure why at the
Yeah.
time. I'm like, okay, let's meet. I'm always open to meet with people and hear what they have to say.
Hmm.
And they had a script that they wanted to do, and it was a human trafficking script. I'm like,
Mm.
hmm, maybe this is the thing that God wanted me to be involved in and wanted to do. And that's
Wow.
how God wanted me to be involved because I had asked about 3 years before, like, I want to do something.
You're right.
And it
Right.
took about 3 years for God to answer. And He works that way. So I said, Federico, Patricia, I'd love to help you with this. They said, yes, yes.
All right.
So, and we met again, and I told them, if we're going to do this, it needs to be real, it needs to be authentic, it needs to be based on
Right.
true stories. And they had a script written, sort of like a draft.
Hmm.
I read it, and I said, um, let's meet some survivors. Let's meet
Hmm.
some organizations that deals with that. If you hear my dog,
I hear you, dog. Yeah,
um, uh,
that's okay.
he nuts when she sees squirrels. So I apologize.
Yeah.
Um, so I said, let's talk to some survivors and organize and really find out more as to what happens, and we started doing that,
Yeah.
and we started talking more and more with folks, and then we started changing the story, the original story, to make it more of a real story, more authentic. And then we met another young lady whose husband works for Homeland Security, and she says, "Hey, my husband works for Homeland Security. If you want, maybe I can set up a meeting." I'm like, "Yes, absolutely."
Yes.
Because so we flew to New York, and we we met with several Homeland Security agents, and the agents that deals with that does the rescuing. So we
Wow.
wanted
Mm.
to see that from their perspective
Yes.
as
Hmm.
well. And they told us true stories of things that are now, declassified. So we took a lot of notes. We were there for hours and hours, and they were happy to just share what what they went through and what they go
Uh-huh.
through. And then just now the story becomes more real. Now we go back and we have to write it more authentically, and we did that. And then now we have a good story. We have a story, and that went through many phases of
Yes.
of writing, as you can imagine.
Woo.
Okay, we got a story. Now what?
Yeah. Oh man.
We started casting for it.
Yeah.
We started planning with no money. But God says to go forward. You go forward,
That's right.
no matter what. You go by faith. Um, what you need is gonna come at some point. It's not gonna come easy, but it's gonna come. That's a promise. If God calls you to do something,
Yeah.
He's gonna clear the path for you. That has been my experience. But you have
Yes.
to do your part, and you have to trust, and you have to have faith.
That's right. That's right.
So we needed some money for pre-production because it does cost. So we did some fundraising, and we did raise some money, and then that was gone pretty quickly for pre-production.
Yes.
And now it came time, and we had set a date, and this was we had set a date of November of 2019 to film, and then we needed money. We needed to raise a lot more money for production because we have actors
Absolutely.
that we have to fly
Yeah.
in, we have to pay, and we have to rent and stuff,
Hmm.
and the production company we got to pay, and this and that. um and days are going by, and we are raising very little money, but we are raising, but not nearly enough what we need to go into production. And weeks are going by, um, and people are getting nervous.
Yes. Yes. Are we really going to do this, or what's going
That's
on? What's going to happen?
1 month before. I remember Federico and Patricia says, I think we need to reschedule it for for the next year, maybe January or February. I,
Right.
I said no. If we do that, we'll be defeated,
Oh,
and we will not really do it because it's gonna keep we're gonna keep doing that every time something happens. Let's push it further.
right, right.
I said no, we're not gonna do that. We're going to do it at the date that we set. And then 2 weeks before the film, the situation we go into production, the situation didn't change. 1 week
Woo,
before, the situation has not changed. So, as you can imagine,
woo.
the people around me are very nervous.
Oh, yes.
And for some
Woo.
reason, I don't know why. I don't panic. I think God has built me that way. And I've been
Mm,
through a lot in the past, and I've seen God at work,
yes.
um,
How he comes
so
through.
many times in the last minute in my life, so many times.
Mm.
And I'm like, God, don't do that. Please don't do the last minute.
Ah, 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 ah. Oh, my goodness.
Don't do the last minute thing. You called us to do this. I know that you're going to provide it. Um, Everyone's getting nervous. Everyone. It's like a film before the film. It really is.
Yeah.
And people are not sleeping. And I was not about to share that with some folks because sometimes when you do that, it doesn't help the situation. It just makes you more nervous because now you
Right.
have more people
Yeah.
nervous, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
when you have a lot of people that does not have faith or that doesn't quite believe that this could happen, it has a chance of not happening. You need to surround yourself with people that does have faith, that believe that God can
Yeah.
deliver at any moment.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. That
so
God says all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed.
and I did look it up. The mustard seed, I looked it up. It's really,
Ah,
really small. It fits like in your
it
little,
really is. It's just
yeah.
yes. Uh-huh.
So days before we go into production, situation still hasn't changed. And then, we have flights already scheduled, paid for, locations,
Yes.
everything is set. And 2 days before, situation still the same. And the day before we go into production, morning of, nothing. But God came through with a beautiful family that said, this is literally almost 11 p.m. the
Oh,
day before I'm on the phone
wow.
with them. That family says, yes, we'll come on board. We believe in
Wow.
you. And then that's how God
Mm.
heard. And yes, he did do the last minute thing, despite me pleading.
And Marty, I think sometimes that's a test of our faith, you
Yes.
know. And but wow, that is amazing. That's amazing. Mm.
And now
That's our Lord.
we have a completed film that people have seen and love, have already changed many lives.
Yes.
Because of the films, a lot of people are taking action and doing things
Yes.
to help end human trafficking.
That is absolutely wonderful. What a great faith story. I mean, it took a heap of faith for you to be steadfast in that faith. and then the Lord coming through with a family the evening before you
Yes.
shoot. Wow, that's just amazing. Thank you, Marty, for sharing uh, that great faith story with us. And there is one more question I would like to ask you. What is one thing that you believe we can do to hold on to our faith in this ever changing world we live in?
Yeah, for me, I would say it's two things. Sorry,
No, that's
but
fine.
they're both connected. Uh, One, you have to stay on your knees.
Mm,
Two is
amen.
you have to stay in the Word.
Yes,
I don't
amen.
think there's a way around it. The
Hmm.
more you stay connected with God, the more He's connected with you. So think of it this way: if I have my child next to me, when I talk to him, he could listen and hear me well. But if he's further away, he has a hard time hearing me. And it's the same for
Right.
us with God is if we are further, the further we are away from him,
Mm,
um, the less we can hear him when he's talking to us. But if we stay connected, we stay close, and then we can hear him when he
mm.
talks to us.
Yes, absolutely. What a great illustration uh, that is, Marty. Thank you again for being my guest today.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. And I also want to thank our wonderful family at Creative Motion Network. Creative Motion Network. Thank you for watching as well. Have faith and look up, friends, where our help comes from. Bye. God bless.